There is so much pleasure that men can have that they don't realize. In fact, men can have full body orgasms. They can have orgasms without ejaculating. Most men just know about, I feel my energy, I express my sexual energy, and I squirt or ejaculate. There's much more that a man can learn to become more powerful in the bedroom, and also he can increase his ability to make love way into his old age, surpassing his father. In fact, as a man gets older, that refractory period from his last ejaculation to his next erection will get wider and wider. Also, as he gets older, he starts to lose those volunteer erections. He starts to have less firmer erections. And Tantra has a way to completely reverse that aging process so that you can feel full of vitality, full of yourself, and you can enable yourself to make love for as long as you want to or as long as she wants to. And there are methods where many men learn to rewire their whole energy body, their whole sexual energy body, so that at times they make love and they don't need to ejaculate at all. It doesn't mean that they forego their orgasms. So they still feel satisfied, but they get to stay full of themselves. And because our sexual energy is our creative energy, you can harness the sexual energy that you don't squirt every time for projects in your life, for staying more present in the relationships in your life. You come away with more energy to be more of your beautiful self. You can think of it this way. When a boy wakes up, right, sexually at about 12 years old, I want you to imagine that he's inherited a vast trust fund. What's a 12-year-old boy going to do with all that money? He is going to spend it and spend it and spend it and spend it. In fact, he might try to figure out how much can I spend in a day. Well, by the time he gets into his 40s and his 50s, he's got a trust advisor that calls him on the phone and says, "My boy, you're spending all of your principal, and we will not have money for your old age. Let me teach you to invest so that you can reap and live off the interest and the dividends." And so I want to be your trust advisor. I want to help you increase your bank account, because men's sexual energy is actually limited in nature. Women are the opposite. We're pretty limitless. Our tricky part is we have to learn how to wake up our sexual energy, bring it down so we can feel it and express it more fully. Men's job is to churn up their sexual energy, but instead of squirting it every time, to reap it, to harvest it, and to bring it up the body. So now we have to make a distinction. There are two feelings that I need you to become really hyper aware of as a man when you are expressing your arousal. One sensation is, I'm coming, yeah, I'm on the ride, this is orgasm, here we go. Okay, that's one sensation, I am coming. The other sensation is your early warning signal. It's the sensation, I could come soon. Okay? Now, some men, they have a really good, it's pretty wide apart. Their early warning signal comes and they can slow down and prevent themselves from going over the edge. Other men, those two signals are really close together. And I want to give you some skill sets to widen that, because as you learn how to harness your willpower during high levels of arousal, you want to have some tricks, you want to have some skills, you want to have some things besides imagining grandma to take you off the edge. So I'm going to teach you a couple pressure points today and a few ideas that'll help move your energy. Now, I can only have time to do a short few. We study the whole thing in our seminars, and of course I do them in my private sessions and in my coaching. So if this is something that you know would really benefit you, please come visit us. And the arousal scale goes from 1 to 10, okay? Now, most men will go from a 6 or a 7 and then jump all the way to 10. Men with little or no control will go from like a 2 and jump all the way to 10. And men who have a hard time ejaculating at all, they usually hover at a 6. And that's about all they go. And the truth is, everyone's missing 8 and 9. Oh, and 8 and 9 is where all the ecstasy is. 8 and 9 is where you're your most passionate. 8 and 9, that partner is the most important person in the world to you. And it's so exciting and expansive, and it can be profound, and there's a place where spirit comes in, and it can be so rich and so fulfilling. And it's really my mission to help both men and women figure out their 8 and 9 range. So as we've kind of traveled this scale of 1 to 10, what we have to first do is fall in love with 3. Like, how powerful can 3 be in your body? As you start to feel 3 in your genitals, can you use your breath to pull 3 maybe up into your heart and express that 3 energy back to your partner? Feel it radiating, sipping it all through your heart, expanding it out your breasts or out your pecs, and really delighting in the power of 3. And then suddenly you are in the world of 4. And now can you be with 4? Can you not be in a rush, but can you feel the flavor of 4? Can you take it to the back of your throat? Can you move it into your hands? Can you express its tingle at the top of your head? Can you really move every level of your arousal throughout your whole body? Using visualization, using your breath, and using your imagination, you can start to pull the sexual energy that normally resides in your genitals and start to feel it in other places. And that is consciously opening up neural pathways. And that's what's going to rewire your body to have more full body pleasure. It's your opening your energy system so that the waves of your pleasure can teach you as it rides all the way up to the brain, and then the brain signals send a message to the rest of your body. Yes, something powerful is happening here. Something beautiful is happening here. We have to engage your brain because your brain is the biggest sex organ. It's your brain that's telling your body, wake up. You're in Blissville. So we play with each stage of the arousal. We can kind of play at a 3 and then go to a 4, 5, find 6, and then cool it down and express our 3 again, and then build it back up, and then go up to a 7, and then cool it down and come back to a 3, and then take it back up. So it's a beautiful path to bring your arousal really high, cool it down. Bring it up really high, and then cool it down. It will facilitate you in having more exciting pleasure. It keeps you wanting to make love longer. Like, you don't want it to stop. And as you kind of play this game, you'll start to reach those areas of 8 and 9. And then you got to learn how to hang out in it. And that has to do with breath. And it often has to do with stillness. Sometimes it's like you get all that energy all revved up, and then you go right into stillness and you connect with your partner. And you just feel that energy between the two of you. You pass it back and forth, and those are magic moments. Those are these static moments of pleasure where after doing all that doing, we can embrace and feel each other's pleasure. It turns into like energy sex versus friction sex. And it's really cool to do that multiple times in your lovemaking. So before you start playing in the playground of 8 and 9, you also have to learn how to control your ejaculatory response, because if you tend to ejaculate at a 6, you're not going to have enough time or space to get to that world of 8 and 9. So what you do is you deploy some sort of technique that will assist you. And the easiest one to kind of start playing with is you simply slow everything down, stop all friction, deepen your breath, opening your eyes is really helpful. And if you can tap on your heart or scratch your head, what that's going to do, it's going to bring your awareness from the tip of your penis, it's starting to fire up, and it's going to bring the energy up higher in the body. In other words, it's going to go to another chakra. This is the heart chakra, this is the crown chakra, and we want to start facilitating that energy going back up to the brain, so it doesn't squirt out of the lingam. Lingam is the word that we use in Tantra to represent the male genitals, and it's got a beautiful meaning. It's thousands of years old, and it means wand of light or wand of God. Most men, let's say they usually, their launch pad for ejaculating would be a 6. It's like they go to 6, they go to 10. What we want to do is, normally their feeling, I could come soon, comes at about a 4. So another great technique is called the pull. And sometimes you need more than just stillness and your eyes open to regain some of that control. So another good one is the pull technique. And what you have to understand is that when a man starts to get really aroused and really excited and very close to ejaculating, first is his whole body tenses up and contracts. His neck gets tight, his shoulders get tight, his hips get tight, his face can even get tight. And so the testicles are also getting tight. They're being pulled up into the body in order to release the fluid. So to prevent that, you just take your 2 fingers, thumb and index finger, you come around the top of the scrotal sac. You're not going around the testicles. It's above the testicles at the top of the scrotal sac, and then you draw the testes down. And what this will do is it'll prevent the testicles from going up in the body and releasing the fluid. It's very, very successful. But if your launch pad to 10 is normally a 6, you want to do that technique at a 4. If you try using either of those techniques when you're at a 6, you're still going to have that orgasm, and chances are it'll be anticlimactic. So all the techniques that you will learn, you always want to do it at the point, I could come soon. And eventually what you'll realize is that you can start to stretch that up the scale. And eventually you'll start living in the realms of 8 and 9. Now some people ask me, well, what does 8 and 9 feel like? And the best way that I can describe it would be to say, imagine that you're in Maui and it's a beautiful waterfall, and you climb into the pool, and the water is just so beautiful. It's this beautiful fresh rainwater, and it's so warm, and you don't have any clothes on. And you can hear the tropical birds, and you can smell the plumeria flowers, and there are rainbows in the distance, and it just feels like this magical hidden oasis. And you start to get really courageous as you kind of slink back towards the waterfall. And you keep going back and going back until your head is tipping over the waterfall, and your hair is flowing down, and the water's just streaming. It's just streaming right past you, and it is so exciting. That is being on the edge, and that's your 8 and 9. And you know that going over is going to be a total thrill ride, but you also know that it's a long climb back up to the waterfall. So sometimes you choose just to get to the edge. You hang out there, you fill up there, you fill up, and then you climb out so that you can get back in 10 minutes later. There's so much more to learn when it comes to men's sexual healing and awakening, and there's so much men can learn about really growing as a wise man with his sexual energy. And I don't have all the time in this video to give you all those tidbits, so please come to a seminar where we discuss it in its completeness, and please don't hesitate to sign up for a private session or to get some coaching with me so that you can be on your way to sexual mastery. I hope you have a pleasure-filled, blessed day.